Duelists, I present to you the best structure deck of the year. It's right here. This deck is probably the best that we're going to see in the year 2022 for multitudes of reasons, but we're going to get into that in the actual opening. But yeah, overall, I'm very excited. I was happy I was able to pick up 3 of these from my local store. So yeah, I'm going to open it and go through all the cards with you guys. It is so exciting. I cannot wait. This deck is awesome. Let's see if I can crack this real quick. If you guys like this deck, let me know how you're building it in the comments. I'm really curious. For this deck in particular, I don't think I'm actually going to do a 3-deck version of it, like a 3-structure deck version of it, specifically because I don't think you really can. I think it's the way the cards are designed, where it's kind of awkward. So as you can see with our first card, we have the Tri-Brigade right here. I think they all look really cool too. All the cards actually came out really cool. Even the, wait a minute, let me see. Here's the, even this I think looks really good. Yeah, this is the first time they had something like lore, like an art story on it. If you guys can see it. Like, there's just a lot going on here. And obviously the normal combos. And then the mat. I'm excited for the actual mat, the rubber one when it comes out. I might try to get that one because I think it's going to look really cool. But we'll see. I think this is one of the better ones overall, like design-wise, obviously, because of the art in general. But yeah, let's just get this cracked open. Alright, so here we are. The Albaz Structure Deck in 2022. And we have our first card right here, Tri-Brigade. If I can get this to focus. There we go. Mercourier? Interesting. So these are cards I've never read before this day, because as far as I know, the Despia deck doesn't even play these cards, like the new ones. So I've always wanted to read through them and see what they do. So when your opponent activates a monster effect, well, you control a fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material. Quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or face up field to the graveyard and negate that effect. That's cool. It's like a hand trap type of thing. If this card is banished, you can add from your deck to your hand 1 Fallen or Albaz or 1 monster that mentions it except Tri-Brigade Mercourier. You can only use each effect of Mercury once per turn. So this actually isn't that bad. I thought this was going to be worse. This is actually a pretty good card overall. I don't mind this card. I feel like that there's much worse cards, but I'm surprised that they don't play this deck. Like I said, this is a deck I haven't really looked into too much, besides like just a few OCG lists I see here and there, but actually knowing what the cards do, I haven't really looked into it. The only one I really know off the top of my head is Branded Fusion. Then we got Springen's Kit. This is a great art. I like this art a lot. I actually like the Springen's deck like a little bit for some reason. And then I like the little art of Kit. I think it looks really good. And this is a level 4 Dark Beast. The other one was level 4 Wing Beast. If you have a fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material on your field or in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal special summon, you can add to your hand 1 of your branded spell or traps that is banished or in your deck or graveyard. Then place 1 card from your hand in the bottom of your deck. You can only use each effect as Springen's Kit once per turn. This is actually just really good. So this is an extender because it special summons itself and it searches a branded spell. So this is actually just a super good card. I really like this card a lot, to be honest. The Golden Sword Soul. If I remember correctly, someone told me this was the worst one. Level 4 Spellcaster White Tuner. When your opponent monster declares an attack, or when a monster declares an attack, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, negate the attack. Then, if you control a fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material, you can destroy the monster that declared the attack. Oh, okay. If a monster is banished face up, except during damage tab, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard. Special summon 1 white monster from your hand or graveyard, whose attack equals its own defense. You can only use this effect of Golden Sword Soul once per turn. Okay, so this card's pretty, like, the attack effect is awful, so if I was to use this card for anything, it would be for the second effect. And that is literally only for the Ecclesias, if I'm guessing. There's not really many other spellcasters with the same attack and defense, so if I had to understand that's what that would be for. And then these are the power cards, if I remember right. Something like this. Mirror Jade, the Ice Stray Dragon. This card looks great. Oh my god. The art on this is phenomenal. It's a worm. It's level 8, dark, fusion, Fallen of Albaz plus 1 fusion synchro exceed or link monster. You can only control one Mirror Jade, the Ice Blade Dragon. Once per turn, quick effect, you can send one fusion monster from your extra to the graveyard that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material. Banish one monster on the field. Also, this card cannot use this effect the next turn. If this is fusion summon card in its owner's control, leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls during the end phase of this turn. That is insanely strong. So you get value off of using the destruction effect, obviously. It's not a hard once per turn, so if you make a different copy of this, you can use it again. The fusion that you send is going to get value because that's just how the Albaz deck works in the end phase. And you clear the board in the end phase, which a lot of people don't know. Something that clears the board at like a certain time before like the following turn, like something like the end phase, that's super annoying. That is like a very frustrating effect because you can't make a board against it. So if you clear this on your turn and then your board gets wiped at the end phase, that's super annoying to deal with. And that's even like competitive wise. You like this is not like just casual. This is competitive. That is super annoying to deal with. So that's super funny. Does it activate in the end phase or when it leaves the field? Yeah, so this card activates right when it leaves the field, so they can't go like make a negate after they get rid of it and then try to negate it during the end phase. They have to have the negate right when it leaves the field. So this is a very good card. It's super annoying to deal with, and I believe this is the card that transitions to that card. Lobelion, the Searing Dragon. One dark monster and Fallen of Albaz. If this card is fusion summon, you can discard one card. Fusion summon one level 8 or lower fusion monster from your extra deck, except itself, by shuffling monsters mentioned on it into the deck from your monsters in your field, grave, and or base up banish cards. For the rest of this turn, this card cannot attack. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except fusion monsters. Okay, and you can only use each effect once per turn. So this card is what transitions into this card pretty much. This is very straightforward. This goes into this, and then, yeah, obviously. And then this is the one that means the most. Branded Fusion. This card is nuts, just because it is literally shit all fusion for this deck. Fusion summon one fusion monster that mentions a Fallen of Albaz as material from your extra deck using 2 monsters from your hand, deck, or field as fusion material. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except fusion monsters to turn to activate this card. So if this card does get Ash Blossomed, you are still only locked into fusion monsters, which sucks. But overall, this card is just insane. The fact that you can make something like Ice Jade from Lobelion all from just one branded fusion, that's just absolutely crazy. Yeah, it's just nuts. Like these three are like insane competitive viability. I think this card could be put in competitive decks. This is kind of like a mid-range. I think this card's just bad, just from reading them off like what they are. Branded Sword. Banish any number of branded spell or traps from your graveyard. Special summon that many Ice Blade tokens. Dark Dragon level 8, 25 attack, 2000 defense. Oh my god. There's no restriction on it. That's what it does. There's no restriction on that. You can summon 5 tokens if you want for just a lot of damage. Oh my god. They're huge. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your banished monsters that is Fallen of Albaz or mentions it. Add that monster to their hand. You can only use one effect per turn, only once per turn. That's so good. Oh my god. That's just a lot. Like, okay, competitive-wise, it's probably not that great. Like, I'm probably overhyping it because you have to banish a bunch of branded spell traps. But, like, that's a lot of pressure. Like, if you, like, you can get 5 tokens off this card. You can get 5 tokens off this card. That's so many. And I know the actual deck plays more spells than just this. I know there's, like, 2 other ones. Yeah, so that's a lot. And then being able to add stuff, too. Yeah, it recycles from the graveyard too. That's so good. Just as a card, I think that's like really good. It might not be played in the actual deck, the competitive deck, but like I don't think this card is bad by any means. It's something that reminds me of what's the trap in the dinosaur structure deck? That card wasn't bad at all, but it just wasn't played in the competitive version because it didn't match the play style of the deck. But that's just something that's so cool to me. Next we have Branded Retribution. When a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated that includes the effect of special summons and monsters, return to the extra deck 1 face-up fusion monster you control or 2 fusion monsters from your graveyard that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material. And if you do, negate the activation. And if you do that, destroy that card. That's a one long effect, but that is... that's a lot you have to put back. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target 1 branded spell or trap in your graveyard, and add to your hand. That's really cool. You can only use 1 branded retribution effect once per turn, and only once per turn. That's okay. I don't like the first effect as much because putting back your own fusion sucks. But the second effect's good. Being able to add back your cards is always good. So that's it for the new cards here. This is all the new cards that we got from the structure deck, and the rest of these are all reprints. But I'm telling you, this is where this deck super, super shines. This structure deck is phenomenal with reprints. And starting off strong, obviously, with Fallen of Albaz himself. This was super strong. Like, it was a secret rare originally, then it got printed as an ultra in the Megatins. But having it access into the deck is like just super budget. It's super nice. Now that I'm rereading all these, maybe you can play this deck with just 3 copies of this. I gotta look. Maybe maybe I'll play it at locals. We'll see. Albion, the Shrouded Dragon. This can be another copy of Fallen of Albaz, and its effect is to you can special summon itself. It's not bad. It's like okay at best. Nothing crazy. Fleur de Lis is a great reprint. I know it was in the, in the Megatins, and but yeah, it's still fine. Like this is just a good card to have as like a common rarity. This is more than welcome. We have another reprint of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. This card's fine. Nothing crazy. I mean, we have plenty of commons of it, but it's okay. These are always great. Kaijus, every time a Kaiju's reprinted, I'm so happy because I think more people should be playing Kaijus, especially with the metagame right now being so dependent on a Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. Something like this could really hurt that strategy. So yeah. And then we have Chaos Dragon Levianary. This card is, I'm very happy to see reprinted because I think the last reprint was an Ultra. I don't know if we have any common reprints of this. So it's just something nice for budget players to be able to have. Any budget players who want to play something like Chaos Dragon or some kind of Dragon Link variant are very happy that this card's at a low rarity. Oh, and then as I said before, we have another Kaiju. Again, more than welcome. And this card was a dark one, so it's one of the best attributes for it. So getting another Kaiju is also awesome. Artifact Scythe in here for whatever reason. I mean, I don't think this card really deserved a reprint just because I want this card to not exist in the game. It didn't do that great at the YCS, obviously, but still, though, I mean, it's a welcome reprint that are just so budget players can be scything each other now, so everyone can have a bad time, but overall, it's fine. Oh, okay, then we have White Dragon Wyvern Buster, so I'm assuming after Wyvern Buster we're going to have Collapse Serpent. Yep. So we have both of these in here. Again, this is for Chaos Dragon players. It's nice to be able to get these. They were common originally anyway. It's not like they were expensive, but to go with the whole theme of the Chaos Dragon, it works really, really well. And then followed up with Starleaf Safer. This card did need a reprint. This card was only Ultra or Secret, so it is very nice seeing it in this as a reprint, and it is phenomenal to have this in here. Again, being able to play this Dragon package at a much more playable rate is super awesome, and I think the only thing that's left for this package in particular to get reprinted is something like Chaos Base again, because it's still only a super in tune Chaos. So I mean, I think that card is like again really good, especially with these. But yeah, overall, like these reprints are just like ridiculous. Then we have Keeper of Dragon Magic. This card's cool. It adds polymerization. It's kind of neat. I'm not like crazy about it, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. Very helpful for the actual deck itself. Maybe if I do, like I said, if I build 3 decks together, maybe this will be a part of it just for extra consistency. Summoner Monk is just like a generic level 4 card to get other level 4 monsters. This reprint is insane. Getting a card like this again in the structure deck, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, especially right now in the current metagame, it is actually crazy getting this as a common in here. This is almost as good as Ash Blossom when that got reprinted as a common in the Salamangreat structure deck, and that structure deck got sold out immediately. So I would not be surprised if this deck sold the same way. Because we have this in here. And then to follow it up, we also have Effect Veiler. This deck comes with 2 different hand traps in it is crazy to me. So I think that like making a deck that has 6 hand traps in it, because we have 3 Ghost Ogre and 3 Effect Veiler, that's so funny to me that you could just buy 3 structure decks and you get 2 play sets of hand traps. That's nuts to me. And then to go along with the Chaos Dragon theme, we have Omni Dragon Brotor, which also got a reprint. Again, super cool. I don't think this card was too expensive, but it's just something to go along with the other ones. Oh, this is a new card, I think. Branded Lost. I don't think I know this one. This is a continuous spell. The activation of your cards and effects that includes the effect that fusion summons a fusion monster cannot be negated. Oh, it's okay. So it's like what's it called? Magical Meltdown. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when a fusion monster fusion summon this way. Yeah, okay, it's literally like Meltdown. If you fusion summon a fusion monster, you can add 1 Fallen of Albaz or 1 monster that matches it from your deck to your hand. Oh, wow, that's really good actually. Okay. That is an awesome card. Being able to search too, as well as being a magical meltdown when you do fusion summon. This is really good for chain blocking also. So yeah, it's really good. I'll keep that up. Branded in white. I don't know if this is a new card too. I think it is. I could be wrong, but I do think this is a new card. Fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material, including a dragon monster. You can also banish monsters from your graveyard as material if you use Fallen of Albaz as fusion material from your hand, field, or by banishing itself from your graveyard. Okay, that's cool. So it's make Miracle Fusion. During the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there to activate the effect of Fallen of Albaz this turn, you can set this card. You can only use effective Brandon and white ones. Oh, it's cool. It's like a free discard fodder for this card. So Fallen of Albaz's effect is you can discard a card to fusion summon from either side of the field with itself. So it's kind of nice that you can discard this to get reset itself so we don't lose value on that. So that's kind of neat. Branded Bond. Special summon one of your Fallen of Albaz that is banished or in your hand or in your graveyard. Okay. During the end phase of this card in your graveyard, because it was sent there to activate the effect of Fallen of Albaz, you can set this card. Oh, again, this is another card that gets value off of it, and special summons Fallen of Albaz itself. That's kind of cool. You get some free stuff. Okay, now we're back to spell reprints. Fusion Gate, this card's been reprinted a million times. Nothing to be excited about. Fusion Recycling Plant. I think these cards are getting annoying to find, so I'm happy it's just something readily available. Fusion Substitute. This hasn't seen play since Zodiac. Gold Star, cool reprint. Fun to reach players. Rejoice, maybe. I don't know. I don't think this card was expensive. It's gotten printed a million times, so yeah, it's whatever. This reprint's nuts. I cannot believe that we got Pot of Extravagance in here as a reprint. That's so crazy to me. This reprint is insane. The fact that we get Pot of Extravagance in a structure deck as well with something like Ghost Ogre and Starly Safer and Kaijus and like, oh my god, this is just, and it being a meta structure deck is completely absurd. So we have Pot of Extravagance. This deck is so crazy. And then after Pot of Extravagance, you have Call by the Grave and Dark Ruler No More. Now, I'm jumping through these because these are all super hyper competitive cards. Being able to play these is insane. The fact that these all come in one structure deck, like I said, is just ridiculous. That is so much value in this structure deck. And I'm not saying this from, like, I mean, like, probably, like, I guess money-wise, too. I'm sure this structure deck won't be on shelves very long. I'm sure people are going to be buying this left and right. But, like, just having these cards in your collection, being able to buy 3 of these, and you get 3 Dark Ruler No More, something that was pricing over $6 from a previous structure deck, Pot of Extravagance to have, Call by the Grave to have, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit to have, Effect Veilers to have, a little Dragon package to have, an Artifact Scythe, plus an actual playable deck. I think that's super awesome. There's just so much good stuff here. Moving forward, we have Screams of the Brand. This is also a new card, I believe. If a fusion monster was sent to their graveyard this turn, special summon one of your fusion monsters that's banished or in your graveyard. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Okay, that's kind of neat, I guess. I don't know how often that would come up, though. During the end phase of this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there to activate the effect of Fallen of Albaz. Set this card. Okay. Again, I do like the that last effect to be able to set itself on all of these cards, just because it's kind of nice to not lose value on Fallen of Albaz anymore. Judgment of the Branded. Target one level 8 or higher fusion monster you control. Destroy all monsters your opponent controls with equal or higher attack than that monster. Oh, that's like a... Whoa. Sure, I got to look at the size of the monsters, I guess, to know how often it's going to come up, but that could be okay. During the end phase of this card is in your graveyard because they're sent there active Fallen of Albaz, blah, 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 set it. Again, really cool. Awesome card. Alright, now we're back to Trap reprints. I think the Trap reprints are actually pretty good in this set too. So we have Necrofusion. This card's kind of cool. Nothing too crazy. It was a common when it originally came out. Back to the Front. Great reprint. It's like a Call the Haunted type card. Warning Point. This card's okay. Just destroys a card on the field. Oh, wait, no. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is something like No Material. When a monster is summoned, that face-up monster has its effect negated. Also can't be used for Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, or Link Summon. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is actually a pretty decent card right now in the metagame against something like Prank Kids. Okay, never mind. Yeah, this has a really good card in it. There can only be one. Another insane reprint of a Floodgate that's being played all throughout the competitive game, and things like Eldritch or Sky Striker, whatever it may be. Any degenerate Floodgate deck could be playing this card. And for getting a reprint in a structure deck, again, is something insane. I can see this having value in the future if a deck using this comes up again. Then we have Dimensional Barrier. Again, it's kind of funny that they included this in here because this is something that counters this deck. Being able to call Fusion really hurts this deck and can just end their turn potentially. So it's super cool seeing this in here, and I'm happy it's readily available for players to be able to use against this strategy. And then we have Waking the Dragon in here. Another cool reprint, being able, when it's destroyed or banished, you can special summon a monster from the X deck for free. I don't know if this card had value right now. I could be wrong if it needed a reprint, but I know I haven't seen this card in a long time, so I'm happy to see it reprinted as well. Then we have the Fusion reprints from, I believe this is all of the old Fallen of Albaz fusions from the old sets. So we have the Dogmatica one, the Tri-Brigade one, and the Spriggans one, and this is the Branded one. So we do have all of these. These are all like really cool cards in their own way. I'm not going to go over all their effects. These are all reprints. These already existed in the game. So yeah, this is just super nice to see. And probably my favorite part about this structure deck, just from unique-wise, if I'm being honest, we actually got tokens that have some lore on them on the bottom here. I don't know if you could read it or not, but it looks so cool. And the fact that it comes with lore, and they look great too. It's the best part. You know, Ecclesia, Albaz the Shrouded, Ecclesia the Exiled, Tri Brigade token, the Victorious Vessels or the Virtuous Vessels, and then the Aluber the Dogmatic. Super cool looking, and then again they all come with like a flavor text on the bottom as tokens. I just think it looks great. I think the art on these is amazing. I feel like someone at Konami really had a good idea making this and made it came out. It came out beautifully in the end. So yeah, that's gonna be it for the Albaz structure deck. If you guys want me to make a deck using 3 of these, let me know. I do have 3. I have another one cracked open right here, and then I got one more sealed one right here. I might make a deck using this. I'm not sure yet. Let me know if you want me to play it even tomorrow at locals, and I will throw it together real quick, and I will try to make something happen with it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you're excited for this deck as well, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.